Hi guys, it's Mandakini here from Dynamic Wellness. I'm here today to show you how to make gomashio, which is a Japanese form of sesame salt. So sesame is a really good seed in our system, and generally nutritionally it has more protein than eggs. It has 5 times the iron in beef and 8 times the calcium that you would get in milk. So it's an excellent source of minerals from a plant source. And also the salt that we're going to use is sea salt, and that's high in minerals because in our daily life it's hard to get good quality minerals. And that combination of dry roasting the sesame seeds and then mixing in with the sea salt, and basically with the oil of the sesame seed you're basically coating the salt. So with the gomashio, with the sesame salt, the whole idea is that we're going to dry roast the sesame seeds. We're also going to dry roast the salt, and then we're going to mix them. We're going to mix them together in a mortar and pestle. Which what will happen? The oil, it will break the seeds, and the oil from the sesame seeds is basically going to coat the salt, and that's makes this type of salt a very good source of salt that you can ingest and get the minerals from salt. So and you can use gomashio to sprinkle on your rice. You can use it to make gomashio tea. You can use it in salads. It's a very versatile kind of way, and it's such an easy way of getting your calcium, your iron, and your protein from the sesame seeds. So I'll just show you what we need for this. All you need is sesame seeds, a packet of sesame seeds, or you buy them loose, and a good quality sea salt. Normally sea salt is better. Sea salt is better than your table salt because it has many more minerals, and normally you'll see that good quality sea salts are normally a bit moist. Just simple sea salt will do. Now the ratio that we need is 1 sea salt to about 15 or 20 sesame seeds. Now if you just put 15 sesame seeds to 1 part, that makes it a little bit saltier, and it's more appropriate for winter. In summer, you're probably better to go towards the 20 because it's less salty, and in the summer we need a little bit less salt. So just go by taste. So I'll just show you how, and the other 2 things you're going to need, this is a siraboshi, which is your ideal way of making making gomashio. If you don't have it, you can just use a mortar and pestle or any other form that mixes them. But this is a good way that kind of puts your energy and your love into it and energizes the food. And a measuring cup. And the other thing is you need just a dry pan. Doesn't matter which pan, as long as it's dry, because you want to dry roast the sesame seeds and dry roast the salt. And we're going to do that separately and then put them into the siraboshi and start mixing it together. Okay, ready? Okay, so I'll just start counting. Okay, so all I've done so far is pour the sesame seeds. I've counted the 20 parts of sesame seeds, and I've poured them into the dry skillet. And now you just have to wait and generally stir them, make sure that they don't burn. So yeah, it may take maybe 5 or 10 minutes. You'll know when they're ready when some of them start getting a little bit brown or a bit of a golden kind of color. You'll smell the smell, you'll feel the heat, and yeah. I've been dry roasting the sesame seeds for probably about 10 minutes. Have a look. You need to keep an eye on it because it can burn really quickly. I've already got some that have maybe a little bit. I could have had them not that burnt, but it will still work because not all of them are burnt. So once they are, and you can smell the toasty kind of fragrance. You can smell the toasty kind of fragrance. So now I'm going to take the hot hot seeds and just pour them into the, it's a little bit heavy. Okay, oops. And between, I'm just gonna clean it. While I dry roast the salt, I don't want any seeds to stay, because otherwise they'll just keep burning while I'm waiting for the salt. So because I did 20 parts, I'm gonna do just 1 tablespoon of salt. And dry roasting the salt is gonna be much quicker. It doesn't take that long. Okay, so I've been dry roasting the salt for about a minute. You can see that it's gone a bit grayer, and so it doesn't take as long as the sesame do. And then I'm just gonna pour it on top of my sesame. And this is when you start mixing them together. And with the heat, the thing is that mixing it, and it does take a little bit of time, a little bit of elbow grease, and a lot of love to make gomashio, and you put your good energy into it. But going this way, basically, you'll hear the sparkling of the seeds just breaking open, and the oil coming out of the seeds, because it's all warm, is just gonna coat the sea salt. Okay, so now it's a good idea to find a comfortable spot, because it's going to take a little while to, you know, we'll probably be here 5-10 minutes. So find a comfortable spot, and I don't know, maybe listen to some music, or if you want to sit in the garden and enjoy the view, or whatever it is. So just find a place that you're comfortable to sit and do this. But basically, you'll know that it's ready when the seeds are kind of broken. So you want it to, it's not all the way to powder, it doesn't have to be a powder form. You want it to go just, the seeds are a little bit broken, and I'll show you what they look like when it's done. So I'm nearly done. Have a look at the consistency of the gomashio. If you've done our cleansers before, or you're just about to do one, you would have tasted what it tastes like. Half of it is powdery and half of it is still full seeds. It's an excellent way of getting your minerals from the salt and the benefits of the sesame seeds. You can easily have up to 2 tablespoons a day of gomashio, and it's a good way to get the salt, because we don't really recommend sprinkling a lot of salt on top of the food. It's a bit too strong and it can cause sweet cravings. But getting salt that is already coated that way is an excellent way. So all I'm going to do now is put it in a glass airtight glass container.
Thank God.
Okay, voila. This is our gomashio. It will keep for probably a couple of weeks. You know, if you leave it too long, it may go rancid because it is oil. So that's the whole idea, that we've got fresh oil from the sesame seeds that is not rancid. So just keep an eye. If you've left it too long, it may smell funny or taste a little bit different. But basically, this is our gomashio. And it's a little bit labor intensive, but it is worth the benefit. So try it. Let me know how you go. Give us some comments below. Bye.